Everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Tuesday. It's TLC Tuesday. I'm here with my girl, Kimberly. Hey, girl.
Hot girlfriend.
You've got some sort of like major new setup going on over there. It's like dealing with like somebody that's got like a podcast studio. It's like there's lights, cameras, action. There's so much happening.
I know. It's a whole new me. I feel like a new person. If I just could get a new face with this, then it would be good.
Your face is perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Before we start, I have to mention this book that I keep forgetting to mention, and it's been driving me crazy. It's called The Favorite Sister, and it's like a murder mystery type thing, but it's all set around a reality show that's very Bravo-esque, and it's fascinating behind the scenes. Like, it's wild.
Is it
That's
about
all I want to say.
Is it about the Richard sisters, Kathy, Kyle, and Kim?
No. That would be funny though.
Mhm.
No. It's just really good. So I recommend it. And I listened to the audiobook and each of the voices, because each chapter is a different person on the show. It's very good.
I just don't have time to
normally audiobooks not something.
Yeah, I'm not into audiobooks. I know people are. I just don't have time. I don't spend a lot of time like in the car or a lot of time like cleaning my house. Although I should. And when I do, I want to catch up on my podcast. So at night before bed is when I read. Like that's my time to read. Sometimes I'll read 10 minutes, sometimes like 2 hours. It like just depends on if I can't fall asleep. So I'll always read before bed.
Yeah.
I'm reading a book right now, but when that one's done, I'll pop over to this one.
Thank you. Can't wait. Let's do a book club.
I love a book club.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I had to say. Thank you. I kept forgetting to mention it, and it was driving me bonkers. But I just think your listeners might like it because it's a murder mystery reality show. It's like if someone killed one of the housewives and you're trying to figure out who did it.
Yeah, it's like Amy Poehler's podcast company had a funny podcast called Ladies Talking About Murder. And then one of the ladies gets murdered and they have to try to solve the murder. And it's like a comedy podcast. And don't worry, Kimberly, it's not based on you.
Somebody really got murdered?
No, it's all spoof.
It's all scripted.
Okay. It's scripted. Gotcha. Yeah, it's a spoof.
Like, what? Because that
really no. But
what was that show that was set in a reality show, and then I think someone did die. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was like a Bachelor type.
Yeah. It was that. And the I can see her face. The girl that was the star of it.
Me too.
What's her name? She's so good. She's got that raspy voice, and she was the
producer.
Not
Pamela.
No, it's not Pamela Adlon.
No, but it's someone adjacent.
Reality like show.
Looks like her.
Show. Unreal was the name of it, and we're going to get the name of that actress. I'm looking right out here. Constance Zimmer. Yes. Thank you.
Oh, and Sherry Appleby.
Yes. Yes. That was a great show. They should bring that back. Have you started watching The Comeback yet? Because I haven't had a chance to watch that yet.
No, I didn't even realize it had started. I'm so...
Yeah. You guys, if you don't know about The Comeback, okay, so it's Lisa Kudrow, and she does it every 10 years. And it's her comeback every 10 years. And it's just, it's a spoof of a kind of a washed up, TV comedy actress trying to like roll with the times. And she's very cringy. And, whenever you hear somebody go, I don't need to see that. That's from that. She was like the ant in the tracksuit that happened to come in and like people are making out. It's like, I don't need to see that. Just hilarious. So I can't wait to start watching it. I know it'll be great. I just, again, with all the stuff going on and adding in Temptation Island, I haven't had a chance.
No, it's a full-time job.
I do have a full-time job.
Just keeping up with my friends' podcasts is like a full-time job.
I know. And let me tell you what, on Saturday, I realized I had already done all my notes for Sunday. So I gave myself a moment. And what did I watch? Dateline. And then I turned it on, and it was one I'd already seen about the ballerina.
Yeah, the Black Swan.
So I went back and watched the one from 2 weeks before that I had not seen. And what was it about? Let me think. Definitely a murder. It was Josh. It was 2 weeks ago. Anyway, I can't remember now, but I watched it so that I could listen to your recap.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice. Did you watch Savannah Guthrie?
No, I didn't.
It was really sad. I
Too
was
sad
hoping
for
it would
me.
focus more on the actual case,
Uh-huh.
but it focused more on Savannah and Hoda crying together, which was so sweet that they're such good friends. But
Right.
literally, Savannah would cry, and then Hoda would start crying at
Yeah.
Savannah crying.
Yeah.
And so it was the two of them on a couch crying the whole time. And good for them, and it just wasn't something we could cover, because how big
You're right.
assholes would we look if we're making fun of Savannah crying?
And you can't, and I did hear, like, the rumors were that, like, Craig Melvin was mad that he didn't get the interview because, like, he was the one that didn't go
Oh,
to
I
the
didn't hear
Olympics for
that.
her, and,
Oh,
um,
and I love Craig Melvin, like,
it could
love.
be and it could have been better too if he did it, because then they're not such good friends, so he wouldn't be crying the whole
He
time.
wouldn't be crying the whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, Hoda was doing something that I think I do, which is a lot of,
yeah,
mhm,
yeah.
yep, mhm. And it was almost distracting, and I thought,
Oh,
"Damn it, I think I do that too." I'm trying to be an active listener, and
yeah. I notice things about other podcasts or podcasters that are annoying that I'm 100% sure I also do.
that's why it annoys
Yeah,
you, because
yes.
you hate in others what you see in yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, especially the,
Mhm.
and I'm like, "Oh god, I do it constantly too."
Does that mean that I share characteristics with Gino, and that's why I hate him so much?
No. Mm-mm. I'll tell you what Gino lacks in here, you make up for in here. That's for sure.
That's true.
I wanna tell you something interesting. So, before we start, I have been following a TikTok story, and you gotta get on board. I love to get into a good, like, 100-part TikTok
Yes.
story.
Yeah.
This one is 40 parts. I watched it all day yesterday. 2 different listeners have sent it to me. I know one was Chris, I can't remember the other one, and maybe 3 people sent it to me. They're like, "You got to follow this." Now, the girl's name is Kristen Suber, but when you look at it, it looks like Kristen's Uber.
Mhm.
Okay. When I looked at it, I was like, "Oh, she must be an Uber driver." No, it has nothing to do with it. It's
Mm.
all about how she was in the IBLP, same as the Duggars and the Plaths, and all about growing up and her, abusive stepfather, and how, like, one of the sisters got more abused than the other, and one was the favorite, and very, very, I mean, a lot of the stuff she's saying seems very Plath-esque,
Mhm.
um, and there is, oh, by the way, all of it, the whole story takes place in Cairo and Thomasville, Georgia,
Yeah.
and she knew growing up, she knew the Plaths, but not closely, but which is fascinating too, because the town is so small,
Right.
and that the leader of their section of the IBLP, the leader, was there in Cairo and had 16 children, and that's where they would go and live on, and they would hang out on the compound but they only had 3 kids. So I wrote, because she answers all the questions. I wrote on one of her parts and said, "If you're in IBLP, like, that's Quiverful, you're supposed to, like the Duggars, just continue to have as many children until you die, basically, until your body gives out." And, she said, "Well, my mom had she and her 2 sisters with 2 different men before she got saved, and she had her tubes tied or something. She was unable to have more children when she married this man who kind of
Mhm.
got them into the cult. So that's why there was only 3 kids and not like 20."
Only
It's
3.
But it's fascinating because she's funny, and she's got a Southern accent, and, she speaking of, like, tics or things that you say that you don't realize that you say, she says all the time, and all the things, she was like, "Anyway, trigger warning for, DVSA and all the things." Okay, anyway, or she'll say, "Anyway, so my mom and them got mad at me and everything and all the things." And so
Yeah.
anyway, um it's funny. So last time I heard her, she was like, I know I say all the things all the time. Y'all don't need to keep telling me. And it's funny because she starts off each video saying like, if you want the whole thing, go listen to the playlist, whatever. And she started off one of them getting towards we're in 40 now, but this was in the 30s. She said, okay, I'm gonna start this. Here's where I left off. But for those of y'all men writing me to get specifics on how my older sister got spanked, I will not be. Yeah, she was like, I will not be giving those specifics. Things that will be in the book will be in the book. But no, she was like, I did work in a level 5 men's prison in Florida, so I know what y'all are asking. She goes, and I'm not telling you. Okay, you're gross. Scroll by. Go ahead.
Well, what is wrong with men? Why is it always men? Not all men, but always a man.
Good point. Mm-hmm.
Can she monetize this? Like if you get a story that goes huge on TikTok,
yeah,
like that one that was about the girl who was dating a guy and it was like 100 parts.
s8e16. Yeah, she was on the Today Show.
She was?
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Speaking of Craig Melvin and Savannah.
Yeah. No, so what I've noticed, yes, you could definitely monetize it. And she did a live the other night and I watched it for a little bit and people are sending the hearts, and all those things are for money. I don't even know if I wanted to send one, I'd probably have to add money to my TikTok account. I have no idea. I've never done it. I don't feel so inspired to give somebody $5 or whatever. But I will say that when you're scrolling through her stuff, like let's say you go to 30 and you want to scroll up to get to 31, between might be an ad.
Gotcha.
And I don't know if that's a TikTok ad that they put there anyway, or if that's it's within her story, like 30 to 31, there'll be an ad in between. So probably yes, she's probably monetizing it. Yeah, and good for her.
I'm still new to the TikTok, so I'm trying to figure it out. What I have noticed is when it's like top stories, they're all fake.
Oh, I don't ever look at. It's kind of like For You page, like whatever comes up, and it knows me well enough to know I like things about dogs, and I like a Amazon shopping list.
Yeah.
Today I did a lot of adding to my cart on Shein, so I'm sure I'm going to start getting that. I didn't buy anything; I just added a bunch of stuff to my cart.
Right. Yeah.
And
that's what I do too.
Yeah.
I just add to carts and then pretend like I got this stuff and I didn't order it. Like,
yeah,
I'll do that with food a lot. I'll make a cart from a restaurant on Uber Eats, but then I never place the order because I don't want to spend the money.
Oh,
is that weird?
No, I make carts all the time. Then I leave it because I'm like, I'm going to wait and see if you send me a coupon.
Yeah.
Because I'm at the heart, cheap. Okay, so anyway, go look that up. It's Kristen's Suburb. It looks like Kristen's Uber if you look it up. And it only took me about 4 seconds to find out like the name of her parents and where they lived. But wow. And I'm a half an internet sleuth, not a full one. And it took me 2 seconds. So they don't have any social media, but it's very interesting. The whole thing is and she's funny and she's telling it, and some of it is SADV, and it's traumatizing, and she'll say at the beginning like, okay, big trigger warning before we do anyway, she did one whole thing. It was like, am I glad that those Duggars got arrested? Yes. Are they bad people? Yes. And she was like, I don't know why TLC continues to have them on when one by one they're proving who they are,
Well, they haven't been on for a while, thank God.
I think they do reruns though, right?
They might.
They put it on like at 2 a.m. when you got nothing else to watch.
Oh yeah, maybe. And the Bates, they are all on Up Network now.
What's that?
It's family. It's Jesus.
Up
good. With Jesus. Prayers up.
There's the Bates, and then there's another family. It's like the Rodriguez family or something. There's another one that's like the Bates. And they have a Spanish sounding last name, and it's all in that same IBLP with all the kids and
So speaking of Plaths, I could not bear to rewatch this season.
Okay, guys, just so you know, tomorrow, Wednesday, season 8, episode 1, Kimberly and I are going to be doing it here on the free feed. Okay, continue.
So I wanted to watch the season because I had only heard you and others speak of it.
Okay.
I just started and couldn't bear it, and then I thought, "Well, I'll just watch the previously on for each episode." And I got so angry about halfway through, I had to stop. And then I thought, I'm just gonna re-listen to Mary, Payne, and Amy talk about it. So I'm re-listening to your whole season on it for the second time at 3 times the speed instead of watching it. That's how much I don't want to watch.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is gonna be fun for you and I to be talking about it then. Okay. She won't even watch it. But
I
listen,
don't know anything about this season. Like, what's the drama? I don't.
The drama is gonna be Lydia and Zach are like they are gonna like be demanding apologies from the whole family for like calling her husband gay and being so hateful about their marriage and all that. It's
Trying
gonna
to
be
burn
about that.
down the engagement,
And
etc.
Mariah lives wherever, Colorado, Montana, something, and Micah and Veronica are broken up.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank God.
Can Micah still be a model because he got his nose all fucked up when Isaac broke it, bit it, whatever, allegedly.
Still a KK cowboy.
Ethan is still wearing his uniform of black t-shirt and Wranglers, even on the beach. And yeah. Okay. All right. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about, though.
Yeah, let's do it.
I know this is not the weekend where we just chitter chatter. It would have been a great idea for me to pull my notes up. Sure, I'm gonna do that.
But this episode is called Mile High Club, which
we were waiting for it.
I believe we totally called, absolutely called it at the beginning, I think.
We were waiting for it. Okay, hold on. I was trying to.
But last week we were going down. You should not do, just to be clear, don't go down in the bathroom when the plane is going down. Don't do Mile High Club when there's a Mayday.
When they tell you to return to your seat, even if you're mid-coital, whatever they say. Yeah. Okay. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
All right.
Mid-coitus. Yeah.
Mid-coitus. Before the 90 days, season 8, episode 16, Mile High Club. So you're first, Kimberly, with Forrest and Sheena. And I have to tell you, I turned it on last night to watch it in real time, right?
Yeah.
And knowing I like take the notes while I'm doing whatever. So turn it on, and Anna's on the couch because she's feeding Ginger on the couch because that's what we have to do.
Oh my God, did we get an Anna drive-by? I love an Anna drive-by where she pops in. I know she's hobbling now. Pops in and says, "What the fuck is wrong with that person's hair?"
Yeah, or she'll walk through and go, "Who's this gay man?" We have 3. We have 3 Anna drive-bys in this episode, and I wrote them down specifically because I know you enjoy them.
I really do. So,
okay. So she's sitting on the couch before it even starts. Okay. And she goes, "What's this?" I go, "Before the 90 days, I need to watch it." She goes, "Well, you're not taking notes." I said, "Well, this first couple is not my couple, so I'm just going to watch." And I'm just sitting there, and I have a little glass of wine, and I'm just ready. And Forrest and Sheena in the car start talking. And she goes, "Mom, I'm not going to be able to watch this." And I said, "It's funny. They're such dorks. It's funny." And she goes, "I'm not going to be able to watch this." And I said, "Just fine. You have to feed Ginger on the couch. So this is what we're doing. This is where we're sitting." Right. And as they got to the hotel room and sat down, and she goes, "I'm going to go," whatever she said. And Anna said, "You're going to have to turn this off. I'm so uncomfortable." And so I had to pause it for like 10 minutes with Sheena on the bed going like, "Big boy," or something. It was like the words on the screen. And I go, "This is what you get. You got." Yeah. So she was like, she made me turn it off completely. She was so uncomfortable. And it didn't even like get to the part where in our group text, we were trying to figure out what were the words they were saying. You guys, if you could see this group text,
which I started,
which Kimberly wrote in the group text, which is Matt and Jake, Chris Farah, Kim and Kyle, me and you, Amy and Amanda in this group text. Okay. And Kimberly said, "I'm going to need some help deciphering what some of the bleeps were." And the amount of responses were hilarious. And then Kyle wrote, "It's a good thing that my wife did not pick up my phone." It was like squirting, wet, legs, splash pad. I was like, "Oh my God." Oh my God.
But no one made me feel dumb and I was a little worried that they'd be like, "Come on, girl. because I understood the context. There were certain words that should be adjectives that were bleeped that I did not understand what the adjective was that was being bleeped. So you all educated me that some words can be adjectives, like squirty or jizzy.
Continue. We'll discuss as we get there.
So they are upset about meeting with the lawyer the day before. She's hangry. He gives her a nut. He calls her Chipmunk Sheen. Very cute. I keep waiting for her to not be amused by his jokes, and it's never happening.
Listen, there is a lid for every pot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I really, but I mean, it's only been like a week, so give it time. But right now,
been like 2 weeks, and they've been around each other before, even though they're trying to make us believe they haven't.
Good point. So, which I told my dad, I had to break his heart, and he's like blown away. Like, they're lying to us, and I was like, yeah, I think I don't know if they're lying or the show's lying, but someone's lying,
or everyone's lying. Yeah.
This is all a simulation. So they're going to the beach, which is 3 hours away, to relax alone away from Molly. I wish they'd just bring Dev. Dev is chill. Like, they could have had Dev come and just leave Molly with her fruit, just a big pile of fruit in a cage. And that's all.
Dev could have been there and you would have never even known.
Yeah. Maybe he was in the trunk and he's like, sometimes the beach, the sand, and it's God, and the sun rises and sets on us all. That was beautiful, Dev. Thank you. So they going to the beach. She's going to try to convince him to move there, and basically, she's going to use her vagina to do that. Yeah, it seems to be pretty successful. So
tale as old as time, Kimberly.
So she says, "Why else do we have these things that cause us grief our whole lives, especially after the age of like 13?" So
right.
So she says she doesn't like jellyfish, and he says, I did bring the jelly so we could have a special night tonight.
Okay. See, when he said that, I didn't hear the jellyfish part. So I was like, why is he all of a sudden talking about lube?
Yeah, I definitely think it was a lube. Maybe he thinks it's called jelly, or he's just 12-year-old boy. And Sheena says, this is Sheena's fault. She says, does mom approve? And he says, mom's going to be there cheering me on. And then Sheena says, you're creeping me out. And all of us watching. But you're the one who brought up the mom, Sheena. So I got to say, I blame you for this one. Also, Molly may have already been to the beach and set up a camera or something so she could watch remotely.
She wants to know how it goes with him.
She wants to critique his nucky performance later. She's taking notes. So would she be the type that would take him to a sex worker?
Yes.
And give him tips and pointers, and then have a meeting with the sex worker after where they can discuss his performance and his progress? I think
yes,
I see that happening.
Yes.
So they are going to finally get out their sexual tension. They go to a resort, which for their room somehow has 2 beds. I don't know. And flower petals. And he pulls out condoms. He's very excited. And she's been saving herself for Forrest, I guess. But I can't. But I think she's done it before. I can't remember. And it's unclear.
I feel like she's definitely said she was a 40-year-old virgin.
She did.
But she has said she's been in long-term relationships before.
But I think that guy that cheated on her, that might have been one of the things. Like she wasn't sleeping with him, and then he used that as an excuse to go cheat.
Okay.
Perhaps.
Okay.
But she was with that guy for like several years, I think. 3 years or something.
Right. And she is now 40, so
yeah. So Forrest says he had started to worry it wouldn't happen for him, so he's really excited. He poses on the bed with flower petals, fully dressed, flower petals scattered on him. He perches the box of condoms on his shorts, on his ween area, or I think just one condom. She thinks it's hilarious. And at that point, I was like, she's not going to find it funny after she gets laid. Like, she'll think it's funny, and then once she gets used to it, but she still thought it was funny.
Yeah.
She goes to the bathroom, puts on lingerie, and he's like, it's see-through. But she comes out in lingerie, but I think she's wearing a bra underneath.
Yeah, she's wearing clothes underneath, like a bra and stuff underneath, because the cameraman is there. I mean,
Cameraman is there. So he said he's so glad to give his virginity to the vixen of the internet. And then he strips and he does like a culty and shimmies into bed under the covers, and they start kissing with the cameras there, and oops, he's finished. The cameraman's like, should we leave? Nope, already done. So bad. I mean, wouldn't you think they're making kissing sounds under the covers, and then he even does like a acts out closing the doors, but the cameraman is still inside the room.
There. Yeah, right.
I love when they try to act it out like we're not aware that there's a camera, like that we're seeing them. So the next morning, he's so happy. He's glad they didn't break the bed, and she finds that hilarious. And he says, "You tired me out. You took the driver's seat." And then he says, "It was a great sensation, way better than me by myself. Me and my hand are going to have to break up."
Okay. So far, so good. So far, nothing upsetting here. Okay.
He says, "I thought it would be magical, but it was more bleep and sloppy than I thought it would be."
And
so this is where
the group thinks
it was maybe jizzy or squirt. No, the squirty is the second bleep, which I will get to right now. I think they thought the first one was jizzy. I mean, I thought it could be like wet, but
I thought wet.
But I don't think they would bleep out the word wet.
Wet and sloppy?
Anyway, I don't know. Like, they don't bleep out sloppy. They bleep out bleep. So
but
then
here's the thing.
says,
if you go and watch it on Discovery Plus, like on Peacock, they keep the curse words in. But on Discovery Plus, they don't. So isn't that why we have Discovery Plus, so we can see the unedited version? But no.
I would think in the screener, it would have the original version with no bleeps, but even the screener had the bleeps. So,
okay, if anybody can read lips and you can tell us exactly what was said in this scene, we would like to know, because there was a lot of back and forth. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I believe the camera cuts away, so we're not even seeing his mouth. So I couldn't read, because I normally would try to read the lips.
Yeah.
So he says, when you got, sometimes I'm like, this is my job. He says, when you got on top and got going, my legs were bleep, and I thought I needed a life preserver to not drown. My legs were bleep.
Drenched, drowning.
But why would they bleep that? Because
I don't know
what it's drenched with.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think that's when people were guessing squirty.
My legs were squirty?
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
But I literally wrote out the sentence in the group chat so people could see the full context.
Soaked,
but would they bleep that out?
I guess it's I don't know. Somebody help us. We don't know.
Somebody help us. Maybe there's a censor, a person who works in censorship that
they could tell us.
So he says that my legs were so bleep, I thought I needed a life preserver to not drown, and I thought that's what everyone who comes near Aviva's hair says. So and then he says, it was the best 35 seconds of my life. She hopped on and took charge.
Wow.
And then she says, you were so gentle and I felt respected. And he says, I didn't want to break you, so I let you get on top.
Okay. And it seems like if she jumped on top, then she might know what she's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Exactly. But then she says, I didn't know how to put the condom on his banana. Again, it's always fruit. But they figured it out together. And he says, "How was I on a scale of 1 to 10?" And she says, "A 1. No, just kidding, 11." And he says the sex was great, but the connection after he wasn't expecting. And he said, "I feel like the whole world is revolving around us now," which is like that love endorphins feeling,
Yeah.
And he said, "Even though we don't have the paperwork, I feel like you're my wife now, and I don't wanna be without you." So you think he's gonna say, "I'm definitely moving here now."
Yeah.
But he still says, "My mom will be like a typhoon hitting a hurricane," which was how wet his legs were. And, coincidentally, what our sex life was like. But Molly will flip out, and that's next week. So
she's gonna say, "So you must have done it. You must have gotten the nookie nookie, and that's why now you wanna stay with her, because now
yep,
she has taken you
magical Clovis.
into her
Yep,
magical vagina like a Venus flytrap,
yep.
and you're trapped forever in
Mhm,
Sheena's vagine." Um,
mhm.
okay.
And good for her.
Good for her. Get it, girl. Get that man with
Mm.
no job. Good for you. That's what you want. You're a full veterinarian. Also, lots of people like to correct me that a veterinarian is not a doctor, and I will let you know that a veterinarian is a doctor of veterinary medicine. So they're a DVM, doctor of veterinary medicine. So they are doctors
Who
for
said
animals.
that?
Oh, I got lots of DMs about that. Sheena's not a doctor, she's a vet. I'm like, that is a doctor. She's
What's
a
wrong with you?
veterinarian. That's a doc. Can you operate on animals? No.
Right,
Can you put my dog under anesthesia and
right.
remove their gallbladder? No. I mean, I don't know if you
Yeah.
have to do that to dogs, but um, okay, let's move it on to Lisa and Daniel. Oh boy. Okay. Now,
Oh god.
I was concerned because I had seen in the group text or somewhere something about people being worried about this baby goat. And I was not going to be able to discuss it if something was going to happen to that goat.
You wouldn't be able to discuss it. I was almost throwing up. I was terrified.
So
I mean,
worried.
we all were. I don't mean to say I was more than anyone else. We all were. It was crying like a baby child, like
It
those
was
cries.
yes. Now, goats are adorable and their little is cute. But this goat was not bleeding in happiness because he got to do some goat yoga. It
No,
seemed very distressed.
very distressed, and I just kept closing my eyes or I would go to a different page on my computer and
Mm.
just listen, and then I decided it's safe, I don't hear the goat anymore, and I flipped back to the screen, and Lisa and Daniel were tonguing in the car, and I thought, "I
Yeah.
don't know which is worse."
And you're correct on that. So Lisa and Daniel, they go to the market to get a goat. And she says, "I was told you get a goat. They used to do for the sacrifice, but not anymore. It's for the milk for the village. And because I'm a female, we have to get a female for the milk." And I don't know if that's true, but I'm glad that they told us that so that I can sleep better tonight or
Yeah.
last night, not thinking about that adorable little baby goat. So, they have to get 2 yams. Now, the yams are huge, and it's lots of talks about the yams and the size of the yams, and we do remember Usman saying the Nigerian men are known for their big yammy yammy,
Yeah.
of which Kimbali told me not true with Usman, okay? She
God.
said he did not have a big yammy yammy.
It's just
So,
a yammy.
just a regular yammy.
Yeah.
So he's like, "That's as big as my yam." I was like, "I hope not. My gosh, I have to go to the hospital." So these are giant
She said
yams,
I stretched to fit you.
but not that. That would be a splitting open. So, anyway, they buy the yams and the yams are $6.50 for 2. And she's like, "What? You need to negotiate better when we get to the goats. We got ripped off. You can't spend all my money." So they look at
That's how broke she is.
$6.50. So
yeah,
they look at the goats and she goes, "Is this goat good? Will this goat be good enough to cleanse me?" And they say the goat is like, let's just say $200, but they get it down to $45. Because first he says $200 and she goes, "No, I'll pay 100." And he goes, "Okay, 100." And then Daniel goes, "No, we will pay 45." I was like, damn.
They're negotiating with themselves.
Yes, they're like fighting amongst themselves. And so they get it down to $45. Now, I didn't understand, like, they had a little cloth around it. And first I was like, is it a diaper? Is it a bow? Is it a skirt? But we find out later. But I was like, cute. They put a little outfit on it. So,
Oh,
and they're pulling it on a leash. And I was like, I wish you just would have picked it up and held it.
yeah.
It's the size of a dog. So, he's saying we have to pay the priest too. Like, we're going to have to save money. So they go into a literal hovel. Like the term hovel, it is a crack den. It is the scariest looking place. They're going through this narrow passageway over these planks, holding the yams, pulling the goat.
There's a crab that's as big as the
weird
crab from what's his face from Little Mermaid, Sebastian.
Yeah.
But not as cute. Crawling along the planks. I thought Lisa was going to fall through one of those rotten pieces of wood and then go, "Daniel, I fell."
This is what we would call a lean-to situation. So, so they go through this little thing and we see the priest preparing for the ceremony. He is putting white paint around one nipple, around one arm, and he's like, ah, he's doing all these incantations and ringing the bell and everything. And he yells out as she walks in, he yells, "Child of the white man." And she's like, oh. And he says, "Remove your shoe, remove your shoe." So she's like,
I'm going to start yelling that to everyone I see.
Child of the
white man, remove your shoe.
Oh my God. Tell your dad next time you walk in the house. Okay.
Yeah.
So they take their shoes, like, oh my goodness. So Daniel is just pulling this sweet little goat, and the goat's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And the priest is yelling and is like talking to himself, talking to the spirits, and then he screams out, "Just as I thought." And he appears to be like seeing demons, and she's terrified. My note here is I did not like the goat nonstop bleat.
No.
I wanted to hug that goat. I want to snuggle that goat. Can I pet that dog? All the things. All the things. So the priest says, "Tell me why you are here. Total cleansing. Who did the wrong?" And then he looks over and he points at Lisa. And she's like, "Oh my God, he knew it was me." Because Daniel has not said one word. And Daniel says, "My wife had an affair with her fellow woman." And she goes, "Yes, that is true. But there is more. I have also lied. I was married 5 times and I am waiting on the divorce." And the priest says, "This is total sacrilege." And he pushes a bowl towards him and says, "Put the money here." So they put a little money in, and he said, "This is too little. You put more money here." And Lisa goes, "Daniel, give him all of our money." I was like, oh, speaking of negotiation, damn. So the priest says, "This woman committed an abomination. Should we cleanse her? What should we do?" And he's talking to the skies, and he says, "You bring the goat? Did you bring the yam? But the gods say you must do one more thing." And she's like, "Okay." And he hands her 2 bottles. They're like shaped like people. And he says, "This is you. This is your husband. Now repeat after me. Me and my husband are one forever and ever. No man or woman will put asunder. That is what I promise. Kiss it." So she does. And he says, "You have agreed. The oracle will hold you. Why are you crying?" And then he says, "We have to perform the cleansing rites. Where is my assistant?" I was fully waiting for that man with the tiger.
Yeah.
From Coming to America. I was waiting for James Earl Jones to come out and like, I am your assistant.
He has an assistant and I don't. It's like, what? This magic man gets an assistant? Okay.
This man has
In
no
his
floor.
thing with no floor, and he gets an assistant? Okay.
Fine. Yeah. So he says, "Bring the yams and bring the goat here." And he yells and he's shaking the bell and they bring the little goat in. And I'm like, no, I cannot. Whatever's going to happen, I can't do this. So he says to her, "Will you mess up again?" And she goes, "No." And he says, "If you do, the oracle will come after you. Get up." And she's like, "Okay, hold on." And he says, "Remove the wrapper." And that was the little outfit on the goat. And so removes the wrapper. And then I'm like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no." And then he says, he keeps putting something in his mouth and spitting it out. Like it looks like water, but I'm sure he's spitting it into the air and to the side, not right at them. So that was nice.
Yeah.
And
It's like sunflower seeds.
Yeah. It was like, and he spits some more and he says, "Embrace your husband." And then he does more blah, 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 blah incantations. And then she goes, "Am I clean now?" And he says, "You are cleansed from today. The cleansing is over. Exit with your back. You came in peace. You exit in peace." She's like, "Okay." And she's backpedaling out the door and Daniel's holding to make sure she doesn't fall and bust her ass.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
In her talking head, she goes, "This is some terrifying voodoo magic shit. I don't know what the fuck just happened."
Wild. So that's the fourth person of authority that they have had to see. How would you rank them? They've had the uncle.
Problems. Yeah.
New problems. So they've had the uncle, they had the king, the Lion King.
The first priest before the uncle.
Oh, right. Before she even landed, he went to the guy in the alley who was rolling dice on the ground.
Yes.
And then the uncle, and then the Lion King, and now this magic man.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm sure after this, they'll have to go back to the uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
just go, one woman could do the job of 4 men.
And it would take 25 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
They make out in the car. And then she goes, "Can we have sex?" And he goes, "Sure. Why not? I get to go to America. Whoop, whoop." I will tell you something very interesting that I've noticed. And I would like for you to notice it next week. When she is doing her normal sad face, okay?
Yeah.
Her sad, terrible face looks like this. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's her sad, terrible face.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm holding up a picture. It's awful. I want you to notice in her talking heads, her eyes don't look like that. I believe she got an upper bluff.
Oh. How can she afford it?
I don't know.
And I
don't know. She got that.
Hopeless.
She got that sweet, sweet Matt Sharp money, and she ran directly to a plastic surgeon.
She needs to be paying off Juna or whatever her name is, and giving her daughter some money, reparations for the life that she has led with that daughter.
And maybe paying back all the people she stole money from when she said she had cancer, allegedly.
There's a huge list. But she is spending it on her lids. Okay.
I personally would have gone for a nose job before, but whatever. That's just me. Okay.
Me too.
All right. All right. Let's move on to the greasiest human to ever be on our television, Aviva and Stig. And so I just had to take Anna earlier. I told you I'm going to have one for everyone. I had to take Anna earlier to get her stitches out. Spoiler alert, they didn't take them out.
Oh, no.
They said it's not healed enough. So she's still got the 46 stitches in the knee. Fun for us who get to drive her to her various jobs. So anyway, she was laying there and I was looking at my phone and she was looking at her phone as we were waiting for the doctor to come in. And she held up her phone to me and it was the reel that I did of Aviva's greasy hair. They just said, "Wash your GD hair. What are you doing?" Yeah. And she's like, "Mom, that's funny." Because you think it's what? What?
No, you say first.
I told you I'm going to have one for everything because later in the episode, Anna did a drive-by comment. Later, I love it. Yeah.
I think you need to do one with Aviva side by side of that Jordan Peele meme where has like water just pouring down his face.
I don't know this meme.
Where he's sweating so profusely, but it's like a joke because it's like someone's pouring like a pitcher of water. It's a GIF or a meme. Okay. No, you don't. Okay. Anyway,
I don't know.
So Aviva and Stig, they've got a pregnancy test, and
Mm.
he's like, moment of truth, and she says, moment of truth. So she just so much repeating of what he says. I can't stop noticing it. And
Yeah.
she giggles with her greasy ass hair, and she's leaving in 2 days. So she has 2 more days. Maybe she has taken a vow to not wash her hair the whole time she's there. And so she's not going to wash until she's back in America.
Again, we saw the hotel they're in. It has a lovely bathroom where, shampoo is provided in that shower. So they're
Yep.
not staying outdoors where she can't get clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she is leaving in 2 days. She wants to get pregnant for some reason that defies all logic. He tells her, we'd have beautiful kids. And she's like, we would have beautiful kids. And he says he'd love to have a son and that sings. And she's like, and she said, I'd love to have a boy because they're mama's boys. And he says, no, he'll be a daddy's boy. And then he says, I don't want a daughter because of the sins of my past will catch up with me and I'll have to kill somebody. And she says, whatever, it gives me baby fever.
Again, this is the first time
I don't
she's
think
met
you're
him in
even
person.
listening to him. Yeah, I don't think she even listens to him when he talks, and she's just like in her own world. I think she's stoned. And then when she's alone in the bathroom, she's still laughing at everything she's saying. Like, okay, I'm gonna go. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. She's just a laugher at non-funny things like Gino. Her and Gino would just cackling. And then she pees on camera. She's filming herself and she's like, that's a lot of pee. And you hear
when you pee on a pregnancy test, you're supposed to do it the first pee of the day.
Oh, interesting. Well, they definitely didn't.
No.
So he's freaking out because he doesn't really want her to be pregnant, but he hasn't really told her that. He doesn't think they're ready. Once again, the non-American is the more mature of the couples.
Always turns out that way. Not always, but most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So they wait, they're looking at it and they're looking at it and then it says not pregnant. And she's really sad because she thought it would be a perfect end for the trip. That's not the real reason. She says, I don't know when I'm going to see him next. And if I was pregnant, I think it would like get things faster moving of me moving here. And then we could be together. And I just think if I had a baby with him, he might not go back to his partying ways. And he's going to do that with or without a baby. I hate to break it to you.
Yes.
She wants a baby to lock him down.
Yep.
And that is the only reason why she wants this baby.
That is wild that she fully admitted that on camera.
She 100% admits it. Not to him, but to us.
Yeah.
That's why she's worried. She wants a pregnancy so that he will not cheat on her.
Right. Because that always works.
Yeah. Yep. So the next day, she's covered up her gross hair with a denim bucket hat, which is also gross. And he's taking her to the Mayan ruins. And he says, it's a very spiritual place. So it's a really good thing we can see her vag in those booty shorts as she's running up the stairs. And the camera is right up in there. So they walk around and she's like, you would be on stage here and I'd be the groupie, the Mayan groupie at this temple thing.
They are stoned. Because what are you talking about? Like what?
Yeah. And then they walk to they're about to walk to the top of one of the ruins. And because she's like, I'm fun girl. Let's walk to the top. And when he gets down on one knee right as they're about to walk up and proposes. And he's like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And she says, oh my gosh. Oh my God. It's so romantic. Yes.
Okay. Here's where Anna came in the room. And Anna walks by and then she stops and she looks back at the TV and she goes, they just get engaged? I go, yeah, it's crazy. They don't even know each other. And she goes, she got engaged in a denim bucket hat.
Yeah.
I said, sure did, but it's better than that grease pit on her hair. And Anna goes, that's just, she kept walking. Yeah.
I don't think this woman has showered in 2 weeks.
And then I got to tell you, that outfit that she had on wasn't helping with the pregnancy rumors.
I know, and I don't like to comment on women's bodies,
because
but I
that's
will
just her body. That's her
that's
body
just her
shape.
body type is always I think she just has a fuller stomach, a fuller butt,
Yeah.
and he
God,
likes that
yeah,
too, which
God
doesn't
bless.
matter what fuck him, it doesn't matter what he likes.
Yeah.
But he had said, like, I know she's working out a lot and trying to build up her butt, and
Yeah.
she did, and so he was excited about that. But I think she has a belly, and a lot of women I do too.
Well, I mean, so do
We
I.
have a lot of organs
Yes.
there, and
I
fat,
mean,
it's just
but I'm
natural.
thinking that's another reason people are gonna because they got her at a bad angle, and I think
Yeah,
production did that on purpose to say, like, maybe she is pregnant, because in all those talking heads, she 100% looks pregnant. So I'm
she does.
saying I still think she's pregnant.
I still think she's pregnant, but I
Yeah.
just don't know how if they're gonna get the test before she leaves, or if maybe she's gone back and they've filmed some interviews,
Yeah.
talking heads between
That's what
them.
I think. Yeah.
So, because
That's what I think.
she looks pregnant.
Were you stunned they got engaged? I was stunned.
I was
Stunned.
not expecting it because their relationship is so surface level.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they know each other's middle names.
No.
It's
Well,
they
we know
they
his.
they just
Duh.
talk in platitudes to each other, like, about how
Yeah.
much they love each other,
Yeah.
babe.
Babe. Like
It's
Darcy and Stacy, babe.
yeah. So
Um, hmm.
so he proposes, she giggles through a yes, and then she says to the camera, holds up her ring and says, "I'm engaged to Stig the artist." Like, how cool is that?
Okay.
That's all you need to know. And it's
And
much like when Kimberly, who we love,
who we love. Yes.
was like, "I wanna be engaged to Soldier Boy."
Hmm.
And that that's that
Just,
that's what's happened.
yeah, the status of it. Yes.
The status of being engaged to a very D Z level celebrity in Belize.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he says, I wanted to propose, but earlier, but I was still I knew she was questioning who I am and my cheating. And, like, I wanted to make sure that she knew my heart and she was okay with my cheating before I proposed to her. And now I feel like she will accept everything because she trusts me now. And because I got Aunt Spring out of the way. And then he says, "You have to call Aunt Spring." And then he's like, "I'm gonna marry your niece." And he sings his stupid song. And they're just, like, so excited to rub it in Aunt Spring's face. And if they can find her, she's in Witsec. And he tells her this was so Ugh. He's like, "You know what, babe? There are always going to be people who are going to try to spread rumors about me. And so I'm going to gaslight you and convince you that these rumors are false before you even hear them in the future.
I'm gonna let you
I'm
know
laying the
all
groundwork
future rumors are not true.
are not true."
Mhm.
Is that not a gaslighting thing? Like, anything you hear about me in the future will be false. So,
Yeah.
great.
Uh,
And she's like, "I believe you."
I believe anything you say. I just believe this
Uh-huh.
country doesn't have any shampoo.
Uh-huh.
But yes, Anna, she did get engaged in a bucket hat. Okay.
And vagina shorts.
Yeah. It was a onesie. It was a onesie. There's
Yeah.
no going peeing at the Mayan ruins. You have to take it all off. Okay.
No. She went
So
already pee for the day. That was a lot of pee.
yeah, he came. Um, Emma and Ziad, okay, and Muhammad, allegedly. So
It's Zhammed.
it's Zhammed. So Emma and Ziad. Emma is I don't know what I wrote here. Emma is so and headed to the airport. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but
Mm.
Emma is headed to the airport with her flowered luggage. And again, so polite to the driver. Thank
Could not
you.
be nicer.
Sorry. It's so
So
heavy.
sorry. I have a lot of things. That's
Thank
so
you so
nice. Thank you
much.
so
Thank
much.
you. That's amazing. Thank you. So in her talking head, she says, I got stood up by Muhammad and I'm single and I've got no reason to stay in Morocco. I got a text from Muhammad last night at my hotel and he says, like, LOL, are you serious? You came to Morocco for someone else, not me. I'm not going to be a plan B. So he got her all the way over there, which I think Kim from Cray Cray said that is 3 or 4 hours from where she was to
Yeah, it
go to
was.
Casablanca and back. Yeah.
Yeah, 3
Um,
hours.
and she says, God, it must have been his plan all along to bail on me and humiliate me one last time. And I fell for it. So 3 hours later, she arrives to, it looks like the Relax Hotel. But what we see is a super cool dude on a motorcycle. And it's Ziad, who looks grosser than usual.
He is,
Uh,
broken out from the
yes.
stress of
Hmm.
dealing with her and
Yes.
that desert trip. He got bit by a camel or something. I
Hmm.
don't know.
Hmm.
He looks
Worse.
pale and sickly and has scurvy and
How does this
looks like
pull women?
scraggly facial hair,
Ugh. Ugh.
just the scraggliest and uh,
Do you think she de-virginized him? Or do you
kind
think
of.
he'd never done it before?
I kind of think that.
I kinda think that too.
But
S
I do think he's talking to a lot of ladies. I
I do
just
too, but how many of them go there?
go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's petting her wig,
Mhm.
and she says,
Her
"Hi,
emotional support hair.
hi, hi." And he says, "Good morning, how are you?" And she goes, "Fine, I'm fine." And he says, "I wish you're leaving today to go to your country?" She said, "Yes." And he says, "I wish you a good road, and that is all." She goes, "So, do you wanna say sorry? Do you wanna say sorry?" And he
What
goes,
does he have to say sorry for? Are you kidding me?
"Because you left me in the desert with a production crew and a full hotel staff. I was all alone." Um, and he goes, "Why?" And she goes, "I'm really hurt because I came here because, like, I loved you and I wanted to be with you. And, like, did you ever love me? Did you ever love me?" And he says, Before you came here, I was in love with you. But when you got here, we see each other in reality and everything about us doesn't work." Except for that one night where we banged it out. That was pretty good.
Mhm.
Um, and he goes, "And I'm really sorry." And she goes, "It's fine. It's fine." And she goes, "Okay, so thanks for everything." And he says, "Thanks to you too. That's all." And she goes,
Yep.
"Bye." And he says, "Bye." And she walks off, and that's it.
If
So,
he watches this and realizes what she's been doing the past couple days,
uh-huh.
trying to get back with the original
Oh, yeah.
fiance,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is exactly what he accused her of, like,
Right.
just being he was the backup plan,
Right.
and that's she proved him right,
Yeah.
exactly. I
Uh-huh.
hope he sees it. I hope
Tell
there's
well,
such
yeah,
a
the tell-all.
reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So she says, so she walks off, and then a talking head, she goes, "Talking to him did not make me feel better. I thought he would care more. But, this has been a learning experience, and it's shown me what I don't want in a relationship. Um, mainly that their country is not great."
Yeah.
So she's again very polite to the driver. "Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you." She gets out of the car. "Thank you." And the baggage guy gets her stuff. She goes, "Thank you. Oh my God, thank you." Then the ticket handler gives her her ticket and she goes, "I'm going to go back home now. Okay, thank you." So she says she's not giving up on
So
love.
nice.
She's so
It's, like,
nice.
the best thing I can say about her.
I
E
know.
Everything about her I find abhorrent, but I really
She is
respect
in
how
a
nice
tank.
she is to everyone.
Here's what she's wearing at the airport: a tank top,
Yeah.
a skirt that's half mesh, half not mesh,
Mhm.
huge heels, and she's
Mhm.
pulling her bag. And I'm like, "Girl, you are going to be flying for 18 hours." I looked it up with a stopover.
Maybe she's gonna go into sweats in the airport bathroom.
She gets on the plane in that outfit, and I'm like,
Oh
maybe
god.
the first flight's only like 3 hours.
I think when you're Emma, your whole purpose in life is to get engaged. So,
Yes.
she thinks, "I could meet a man anywhere on a plane. I
Yeah.
need to be camera ready at all times."
Okay. But you're only filming yourself. Go put it on a Spanx, Air Essentials sweatsuit. Not a sponsor.
Yeah.
That's just my favorite traveling outfit. Okay. So, God, wouldn't that be great if Spanx Air Essentials would sponsor me? Okay. So, stop talking about that. Oh my God, all she does is talk about that stuff. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, so she says, I'm a hopeless romantic and I just love love. And no matter how many times I get dumped, I know love is real. And I know somewhere in the world my person exists. And I know I'm going to find it. And I'm not going to stop until I do find it because I know it's out there. This is not the end of my journey.
Meaning that I hope I have another journey on 90 Day Fiance, and maybe if it's not Morocco, maybe it's another country. Like maybe I'll go to Monaco. It sounds like Morocco. They kind of sound really similar, and maybe I'll find a really rich guy there, and then I could be on another season.
And maybe then I could go to Madagascar because it kind of sounds like Morocco.
I'm just gonna go to M places and find my man.
Well, I'm like, you're super young. Go ahead and get back to LA quickly because you're looking for a job.
You got fired, girl. You
Yeah,
need a
save that
job. Yeah.
money. Go work over
Mhm,
at your sister's salon and stop
mhm,
spending money on wigs
mhm,
and ridiculous outfits and eyeliner and live your life.
mhm.
Live your life. Okay. So we're going to move it on to Rick and Trisha.
Oh god.
hmm
So, they're teaching Rick how to do chores around the village, like collecting water and washing by hand, clothes by hand, and he's bitching about everything, and
Of
he's
course.
like, "Trisha, you never had a washing machine?" What do you see the way these people live? You're
A
shocked
washing machine.
a
There's
wa
no electricity.
What
And
are you
he's worried about a
talking
washing
about?
machine. Okay. Okay.
And he's like, "Even back in the other place that you live, where she has her job, where she's like
Mhm.
a midwife, no
No.
washing machine." And
Mm-mm.
then she's like, "Remember when you called me bougie and we had a huge fight and I didn't have sex with you that one day because of
Mhm.
bougie?" And
Mhm.
he's like, "Yeah, I take that all back. You're not bougie."
No.
So then she says, "My dad wants an answer about kids before you leave." And I really want kids too because my mom left my family for another man when I was 1 years old. 1
This
year old.
is brand new information.
Yeah, and she's like, "I don't like to talk about it because it's really upsetting," and she starts crying, and she says, "How could she leave me like I was just a baby?" And in my culture, if the mother gets remarried to another man, she's not allowed to touch or see the baby, like, ever again, visit the baby, unless they do this ceremony where her husband her new husband, I think, I was a little unclear, buys animals,
Mhm.
and she has to physically cut the animal's throat,
Uh-huh.
and they put the blood on the baby's forehead, and for
And
some reason, that makes the mom not have to abandon the baby even though she married another man. However, Trisha's mom's new man did not like this idea and didn't want her to do it, and
uh-huh.
Trisha's mom left with the new man and agreed to give up ever seeing Trisha, the baby, ever again, was my understanding of what happened.
And no siblings, I guess.
Correct.
Okay.
And Trisha starts crying, and he tries to comfort her, but it's hard because he's at his knees, and she's sitting on the ground, and it's always like, "Oh god." It's he makes old man sounds, which I feel I also make old man sounds.
Oh, God.
Um, and she's like, "This is," she's like, "I don't like to talk about it. It's very upsetting." And Rick says, "I know but you know that your dad loves you more than anything." And she says, "That's why I wanna make him happy by giving him grandchildren because
Mhm.
he's done so much for me." And Rick says he doesn't wanna lose her, but he might have to let her go because he definitely thinks he can't afford to have children right now
Mhm.
or maybe ever. He's
Mhm.
gonna have to stop doing seasonal wig work and
Mhm.
full-time wig work
Mhm. And he's
and
an Uber driver too,
tap lessons, which are also seasonal.
and
So,
also a wrestler. He's got a lot of
also
jobs.
yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
So, then they go shopping at the market for food for the family, and I think Rick is hoping that these bananas will make the dad say, "You can have more time to decide."
Mhm. Right. Mhm.
'Cause he's like, "Look at all this stuff we got. Look at all this fruit. Molly would love all this fruit." Like, is that and the dad's like, "Okay, I still wanna talk to you. We
Yeah.
need an answer." And he's like, "Damn it. did you see how many bananas I got you?
I could buy more bananas. How many bananas do you want? All the bananas you want. Yeah.
So the dad and the uncle asked to talk to them, and there's some cups and a knife out, and Rick thinks he's getting circumcised right there. He's like,
"What's the knife? Do you think they're gonna slash your throat right here?
I mean, you think what's that knife for?" And then they use it to open a bottle, and he's like, "Oh, thank God." So they say, "We know you're leaving the village soon, and we need your answer about the kids." And Rick says, "I respect that you want an answer now, but I just can't decide now." And suddenly it is pitch black outside. They have been sitting there for 3 hours. And he says, "I love your daughter," because he thinks he can placate them with that like he does with Trisha. Yeah. But so he's like, "I love your daughter so much." And the men are like, "That's not what we're discussing here."
They're like, "Good for you. Wrong subject.
You. We know you love her. We're not stupid. We need an answer today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, today. Decide right now. And if you say no, we will keep her."
Oh, okay. Yeah. Keep her.
And he's like, and then we don't know what's going to happen.
Please, they need to go to the island that Amy Archer and I created, PBU. Please break up. They need to go to 90-day PBU. That's where they need to go. Yes. Yes.
It's adjacent to
our first customers.
Fuck Off Island, which is a place that I've created.
Oh, okay.
And Shut Up Mountain, which is another place. So there's just so many places we need to send these people to.
So is Shut Up Mountain on Fuck Off Island?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think
so. You can go visit and you can ferry between PBU and okay. Okay. Now we're going to end with Elise. No, we're not going to end with Elise, I think. Yes, we are going to end with Elise. Gosh, I got a lot of notes. Hold on. I got to take a sip. I'm just coughing. So vamp for a minute.
Speaking of noises, there is a scene with poor Elise where she is going to really wish her mic wasn't on because they did her dirty with some bathroom noises in this episode.
I didn't hear any bathroom noises. I heard her flush.
I heard some noises.
Oh,
did I imagine it? Please let me know.
I didn't hear that. Okay. My hair is so flat. It's like Aviva's. I keep trying to fluff it up. Okay. Okay. So
someone said, "Kimberly, your hair game is amazing. Like you need to teach Aviva." And I said, "Well, I wash it. That's my secret."
That's all you do. You just got to get clean every so often.
Once in a while.
Okay. Elise and Joshua. So basically, okay, so you and I were going back and forth because we switch off with who does Elise every week. And when I found out it was me, her first scene had already come and gone. So here's my recap of that first scene. They talk on the beach and they say they really like each other. And she apologizes for popping off, but says she's ready to settle down. And she's just afraid because she's falling for him. That's it. If anything else happened, I didn't write it down.
I don't even remember that scene.
So professional. So in the apartment, Elise is in her red light mask and asks Chris to leave the bathroom so she can poop, basically. She's like, "I haven't gone in 7 days." Girl. Very bad for you.
Yeah.
No, gosh. Cinecott, Miralax. So she goes in the bathroom. I didn't hear anything. I just heard the toilet flush.
I heard some noises that I clocked it. I was like, that's haven't pooped in 7 days noises.
Oh, no. Okay. So she comes out and goes, "Oh, I feel so much better. Like, don't worry. I sprayed." And I was like, this is way too close.
But even beautiful people poop.
That's right. And she says, Chris, and her talking head, she goes, "Chris, yeah, he's like a roommate. He's like a brother. I mean, he's like a hot brother, but he's a brother." I was like, okay.
Okay. Are you guys going to hook up?
God. So in the talking head, Chris goes, "Yeah, I like Elise, but she's definitely looking for problems. She's a little toxic. Short term, I think it's going to be fun. Long term, I don't know."
Yeah.
Good point. So Elise and Josh are going on a boat today with his work. So she goes to his office and was like, "Hi, is Joshua here? I'm looking for Joshua." And they said, "He's not here. He's bringing a boat around." And she goes, "But he works here, right?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, he works here. That's his desk." He's like, Oh my God. She goes and sits at his desk. She's literally in a thong bikini and like a sheer skirt. I was like, girl.
I was like, why are you completely naked at Josh's workplace? I know it's a boat company, but it's still an office.
Throw on like a long like shirt cover up, just like something, and then you can get naked on the boat. Yeah.
You were walking around in a bikini at a desk, like like porno is about to start.
Yes. Yes,
Like you're a
totally.
secretary in a
Yeah.
porno, you know?
Yeah. So in the talking head, he says, "Yeah, I'm glad Elise is coming today. I want her to see with her own eyes that I have a job, you know?"
Mhm.
So he pays the guy. Thanks for saying that was my desk. So,
Exactly.
um,
I've rented out this whole space. These are all actors.
in the talking head, she says, "Before I got here, he told me about taking out the boat for a joyride with his friends, and he crashed it, and he owes $20,000. So I'm glad he still has a job after that, but I really got to talk to him about it." So they sit on the boat and they have champagne in plastic glasses, unlike Tony and Vanya, who use solo cups. So
Yeah.
I was glad to see that. I never saw him have a drink of anything. I was watching to see, and he didn't even
Mhm.
have a cup.
Good.
So that was a smart move.
Yeah, let's not make the same mistake twice.
So she says, "I'm glad that you took me out on the boat. Did you ask your boss?" He goes, "Yeah." She goes, "So you got permission to drive the boat?" He goes, "Yeah, I did." And she goes, "Listen, I'm not trying to make you feel worse about what happened, but it's super confusing to me. So tell me exactly what happened that night that the boat crashed." And he goes, "Well, I was with some friends like Nat and some friends, and one of the friends was going to be a potential client. So I was networking with him. So I took out a company boat thinking like I'll show him the boat. And then when he's ready to buy the boat, he'll buy it from me. And on the way back, it got too shallow and clipped a rock. And I was shitting bricks, but it could have been way worse. The boat was fixed straight away." And she goes, "Joshua, you told me it was $20,000 worth of damage." He goes, "Oh, yeah. When I first saw it, I thought it was that, but it was just a couple of grand and it got paid off right away." And she goes, "How'd you pay it off?" He goes, "Well, the next time I sold a boat, I just didn't take the commission and it paid off that debt."
Don't
So he
they have
lied.
insurance for these boats?
Yeah, but somebody has to pay for the damage, you know? But
Isn't that what insurance is for? Isn't the
we would,
company getting these
yeah.
boats insured?
Well, they were like, they could have been like, "Our premium went up 2,000, so you have to pay it, you
Gotcha.
dumbass." But this is another lie. He told her it was $20,000 to fix the boat, and he goes, "Oh, it was just a couple of grand. It was no big deal."
There seems to be a lot of these misunderstandings,
Mhm,
which doesn't make any sense. They speak the same language. There's no excuse
mhm.
there, like
Yeah.
a Sophie Pedro misunderstanding.
Yes.
Like, I this is like the 3rd or 4th time that his story has
Yeah.
changed on several of these things.
Yeah. So I could see where maybe when he was first panicked, he's like, "I'm in so much trouble. I can't believe it. It's definitely gonna be $20,000 worth of damage." But when he found out it
Yeah.
wasn't as bad as he thought or whatever, he should have told her, like, "I'm
Mhm.
still in trouble, for clipping the boat or whatever, but thank God it wasn't as much as I thought."
Mhm.
Just to make it but he never told her.
Yeah.
So, that's weird. Like, what would be the reason for that? So, the debt is paid off because he didn't take the commission on the last boat. And he says, "You don't have to worry at all. I know it seems like things are not great, but I have my shit together." You don't have a home. No,
No,
you don't have your shit together.
absolutely not.
And she goes, "Well, I'm really happy to hear all that. And I'm so glad like you invited me and I got to come on this boat. It's a great day." And she goes, "But the only thing in my mind that's still there is that thing with Nat and the connection that you have. It seems like you have an emotional connection with her and she has a financial hold on you." And he goes, "I don't want to have to say it 10 more times. She doesn't have a financial hold on me. Like, you got to quit saying that." And he says, "Why don't we hang out with Nat tonight? Just the three of us will hang out together so I can ease your mind to see that we're just friends and she doesn't have a financial hold on me."
Oh,
Well,
can we rewind a second? He
yeah.
was had no place to live even before this boat incident happened, right?
Was he living with Nat? Was he living with his parents? What he said was he and Chris had a place and they lost their lease. So in the meanwhile, he was living with Nat. That's why I think that is Chris's apartment and he has a two-bedroom apartment and he's letting Joshua lived there, so he doesn't have to say he's living at Nat's. I think it's Chris's apartment.
But he never had solid footing in financially, even before this boat thing happened.
I don't know. He's got a 12-year-old kid. He's 40 years old. So at some point, he had some sort of stable life, you know?
Yeah, but then the kid moved away and he became an alcoholic, according to him.
And crashed a boat. I don't know.
And crashed a boat. Yeah.
So in the talking head, she says, today the boat trip was great. I feel like I did get some questions answered, but there's still these lingering questions about Nat. I just found out that he lives with her. Now I find out she's with him when he crashed the boat. And also they text constantly. It's like bleep, bleep, bleep all day long. It's shady. It's weird. So the talking head, he says, I just want Elise to trust me. I want to show her that Nat and I are just friends. I fully believe that he and Nat are just friends.
Yeah,
I also believe he has nowhere to live.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
maybe Chris is the one who has a financial hold on him.
Yeah,
like
right.
Someone is helping him, because I don't believe he has his act together. So
I don't either. Is he in gambling debt? Like what are we going to find out? Like, why can't he afford an apartment?
Exactly.
Yeah. So as they walk up, he says, do me a favor. Don't kick off tonight. And she goes, I don't know. I can't promise that, you know? So they meet with Nat, and Elise goes, oh my God. Because she's in another one of her, you know, just
under boob tops.
Under boob tops. It's all she owns.
Crisscross.
Crisscross in the front.
Under jump, and show your under boobs.
Yes, right. So Elise goes, everybody here wears black. Everybody's just like wearing black all the time. And it's not Miami. So they get drinks.
But that was like a dig, because she's looking at Nat and Chris or Joshua are both wearing black. So she's like, she's thinking like, do you guys wear matching clothes now? Like a couple?
Well, when they first sat down, so, oh, what have you been doing? Nat says, oh, did a little shopping. And Elise goes, oh, great. Did you get anything fun? She goes, I got this dress. And the dress is just like a plain black dress. And you can see Elise is looking her up and down like, oh, it's no underboob dress. You know what I'm saying?
She says, yeah, she doesn't have anything nice to say. She says nothing.
She's like, okay, it's a dress.
She's not really making an effort.
No.
It's girl code to go, I love that. You look great.
Cute.
Yeah.
So she tells Nat, she goes, listen, the problem that I have with your relationship is that I feel uncomfortable about your connection. You're together all the time. You text all the time. And I feel you're emotionally tied. And Nat says, yeah, I wouldn't want to be best friends with someone if we weren't emotionally tied together. And she goes, but you're also very close financially. Like, how does it work? He lives there. He doesn't pay rent. You just help him. And Nat goes, yeah, I've loaned him money in the past, but he's paid me back. And I really think talking about money is icky. I think it's gross. Elise says, well, I think it's weird. I don't want a guy that I'm dating who tells me he's falling for me to be supported by another girl. And Nat just looks at her and she goes, why the fuck am I here? Is it just sexual? Like, you have an emotional relationship with this woman and she's helping you financially. And Nat goes, if she says that one more time, I'm going to lose my shit. So hold on. I got to cough again.
I think that this whole thing could have been avoided if Joshua really is going through a brief period of unrest in his life where he needs to work things out. Why couldn't they have just waited 3 or 4 months for him to get back on his feet, be more settled in the job, maybe get his own place? If he indeed can do those things, which I'm not sure, but it seems like she's come right, because he's saying it's temporary to live with Nat, like it's closer to his job. If you get your own place before you come. I just don't know why she came.
You have to imagine he has to pay child support and all that.
Yeah, that's true.
Nat says, if she says that one more time, I'm going to lose my shit. And Josh says, we have both said that is not the case. And Elise says, then what's your fucking game plan? When I leave, you're going to live with Nat, yes or no? And he goes, yeah, but it's just short fucking term. So he's getting mad too. And she says, I don't want my man living with another girl. And he goes, why can't I have a friend that's female? And she goes, I think it's fucking weird. I think it's fucking weird. Do you want me to ask every single person here? Because I will. And he goes, I wouldn't. and that would be embarrassing to you. Like, because he thinks everybody there is going to say it's okay.
Right.
And Nat goes, yeah. And she says, okay, let it be embarrassing for me. I don't give a fuck. So she
She
stands up.
doesn't feel embarrassment.
No, and also she's like, not only is this not my neighborhood, this is not even my country. So what do I give a shit,
No.
you know? It
Also, I think she might be under the influence of something. I'm just gonna say it. If that is causing her to not feel embarrassment. And also she's a model. She walks around half naked. She was on Hunt for Love, telling everyone she did anal there. This woman does not feel shame or embarrassment, which is why she's made for reality TV. But
yes,
it is not appropriate for Joshua's life
yes.
to behave this way.
At one point, you just see Nat look directly at the camera like Jim from The
Yeah.
Office. Like,
Mhm. Is this
yeah,
for real?
yeah. So she stands up. Hey guys, let me ask all of you a fucking question. Am I crazy or is my guy living with a girl who is financially supporting him crazy? And one girl goes, did you know? And she goes, no, I didn't. He's been lying to me. And the girl goes, okay, then yeah, that's pretty crazy. And another girl goes, how long have you been seeing him? And she goes, 6 months. And Kat goes, this is the first time seeing him in person. And they just met recently. And so she walks up to the other tables. He shouldn't be living with her and getting financially supported, right? And these people are like, oh my God, I'm just trying to get
Please
some
don't
chicken
yell
wings.
at me.
Yes.
Please don't. They are just agreeing with her because they are terrified.
And their camera's watching and they're like, we were just getting some mozzarella sticks and a
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah.
And
Crazy American with her boobs out is
I mean,
screaming at us. I will say whatever she wants to hear.
yeah. And she's
It's
at
like
their table.
Cocaine Bear coming at you, and you're
Yes.
just like, "Go, please, Cocaine Bear, don't hurt me."
And Nat goes, this is crazy, right? And Elise goes, well, it's 2 against 1. What am I supposed to do? And he goes, but you're only giving everyone half the story. And Nat says, and you're yelling in a bar where I live. And she looks
Mhm.
over at him and goes, this girl's a psycho. She's toxic as fuck. I'm sorry. And then she goes, you don't even know which Elise you're getting. Is it the nice Elise or what? And Elise goes, fuck you, bitch. Whoa. Whoa. And Nat goes, oh, fuck off. Good luck. And walks off. So in the talking head, Nat is like looking to probably the person who's her producer is like, what's, did that just happen? You know, like I live
Yeah.
here. She goes,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. That girl's a fucking psycho. Who yells at people in a bar? She's creating all these issues that aren't even there. This is like a big red flag. Huge, huge red
Mhm.
flag. So Josh walks up to Nat and goes, hey girl, like you doing all right? And Elisa stormed off. But the minute Josh walks up to Nat, she turns around and comes back and goes, oh, yeah, you're so cute. What a cute couple. So great. And they're just looking at her like, oh, my God. And she goes, give me my purse. Yeah, yeah. So, of course, you just come and run over to her after this. You just run over her to this. And he goes, are you ready? Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's go. And he's just like seething.
I would have left with Nat and gone back to her place.
I would have been like Daniel and Lisa the last time they had to like go and be like, we're going to get in the same van, but not talk. Pretend
Yeah.
like we're leaving separately.
Yeah.
And he walks off with her and says, see you later, Nat. And we're talking to he says, I'm so embarrassed. I'm confused. I felt I was falling in love with her, but now I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay. So next time on, Daniel and Lisa are in bed. He says, oh, I'm going to miss you so much when you're gone. And she goes, there's one thing you didn't fulfill for me last night. Oral sex. And he does the full like cartoon, like gulp, you know, like and she goes, it's pretty major for me. And in the talking head, he goes, her fellow women have been giving her the oral sex. I am not a woman. I have my dick.
Mhm. I mean, Mr. Ark told Nigel that we don't do anal, but he did
Right.
not say we do not do oral. But
Right.
Daniel does not do oral, apparently.
No, he has his dick.
But
And that's
Lisa's been living on oral for the past 21 years.
21 years, yeah. Jovan and Annalyn go to some sort of roller coaster, and then they're looking for wedding bands because they're going to
Also,
renew their
why are they
vows.
sitting in different cars in the roller coaster? Like, one is by themselves, and then the other one's by themselves behind them. Did you
Oh,
notice that?
no, I didn't, but maybe it's for filming,
But the
you know?
camera's in the one in front of both of them. It's very
Right.
strange.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they're gonna renew their vows. They're looking at wedding bands, it's like $4. He's like, "What?"
I know.
And they joke around and they're cute. She was like, "Don't you want people to know we're married?" And he's like, "They can have you." So funny. Remember when he said he wasn't gonna be sarcastic anymore?
Mhm.
Josh is telling Chris how she yelled in the bar, and he goes, "It was so embarrassing." He goes, I'm angry. I'm actually really angry." And the talking head, Chris, goes, "For me, a public embarrassment would be the end." And then
Mhm.
we see her come out of the bedroom like, "Hi, guys. What's good? What's happening? Do you see
Look
my
at my
ass?
under boob.
Look
Do
at
you
my
forgive
boobs.
me?
And everything's great. Everything's fine."
I think I'm owed an apology because
Mm,
you guys embarrassed me at the bar last night.
yeah, that was so embarrassing. Nat's a bitch. Am I right? Anybody? Anybody? Is this thing on? Um, okay, we see Sheena and Forrest. They are wrapped in leaves in their clothes on a pier, and Anna walks through and goes, "What's happening?"
They're like human sushi.
I said, "I don't know." And she goes, "Is this like a spa thing?" I go, "I don't know. They're in their clothes. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know." All
She
I
didn't see
know,
them in those birthing tubs, at least.
Molly would have been having a field day with this.
She would have loved it.
And he says, "I'm worried I'm going to disappoint my mother." And she says, "It's time to grow up and be a man and don't just follow her orders." And Sheena's right. And the talking head, he
Mhm.
says, "My mom has always been my safety net, but she constantly causes conflicts."
Mhm.
Then we see the two of them meet with Molly for a lunch. And she goes, "Did you have fun on your trip?" And they said, "Yes, it was really nice." And she goes, "So did you make any future plans? Because we're leaving tomorrow." And he says, "Mom, I've decided I'm going to stay in the Philippines." And Sheena says, "This is our choice." And Molly says, "What's that shit that just came out of your mouth?" Whoa. Whoa.
Wow. At the tell-all, we're gonna have Elise and Molly in the same room together.
Okay. What do you mean? They're both volatile?
Yes.
Okay. Laura and Beer Can talk, and he says, "He's a good guy, but turns out you are not so good. Something is going on between the two of you." And she goes, "Now wait a second." He goes, "You shut up and listen." And she
No,
goes, "Nope.
thank you.
Mm-mm." And she goes, "Don't you tell me to shut up."
Mm.
And in the talking head, she says, "I do not think it is a big deal that one time I tried to kiss Michael." But Beer Can's reaction really pisses me off. And then we see her go and go to Michael's hotel room.
Yeah.
So we now know Elise and Joshua were brought in because Emma departs. Because
But
I thought
still,
it,
it's episode 6. Well, how much longer is this season?
um, May, May, May.
So maybe like 22 episodes?
I believe what we heard was 18 episodes plus 3 tell-alls,
So there's only 2 more main episodes?
perhaps.
Was this 16?
Let me look. Let me look at my calendar because I can look at it better when I
Because
look at
Emma
this.
technically just departed this episode. So
Right.
I do not think they needed a replacement couple.
Um, so if we're looking at it would be the next 2 episode would be the 5th and the 12th of what month are we in? We're in
We're at the
okay,
very yeah, we're
end end
end of
of
March.
March. So that
Yeah.
would be April 5, April 12, and then April 19 and 26 and May 3rd would be the tell-alls. That's right. That's right.
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah.
We gotta wrap this up.
also want to say here at the end, even though this is an hour and a half long episode and I need to wrap it up. I will say for sure, you guys listen tomorrow, Kimberly and I talking about Welcome to Plathville. Because it is on the free feed, you're going to have to slightly lower your anger to a reasonable level.
That's really unfair, Mary Payne.
Okay. Well, you're just going to have to say allegedly a lot. How about that?
Okay, that's
okay.
Fine.
As long as you're, you can't call somebody like KK Ken without saying allegedly.
Can I say KK Cowboy, which is what I've been calling Ethan in my head?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Racist allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's number one. And number two, I think in May, I know, in May, we're going to start doing a live, like you guys do over on Day with Dateline, for subscribers, Supercast, Apple, Patreon, 15 and above. So the top 3 levels are going to get this once a month live, and it'll be you and me and Keisha.
Really?
The dream team.
Oh my gosh.
Won't that be fun? We'll just do it once a month, and we'll have topics, and we'll just do it for like an hour alive, and that'll be fun for like the top 3 tiers of subscribers.
I love that. I wish it wasn't Keisha.
Stop it. Stop it.
Kidding.
Don't try to pick a fight. You tried to pick a fight with Matt and Jake yesterday. Just stop it.
I love Keisha.
I know you do.
Keisha so that'll be fun. Are going to oust you.
No, please don't.
No, we'll keep you around for a little bit longer.
Thank you. Jeez, Louise.
Just because you're the namesake.
Thanks. It is my picture there.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look like me right now, but at some point that looked like me. Anyway, that's it. So we're going to be working on that after I get back from my trip and Ingrid gets back from her trip. Then we're going to work on and making that happen.
Fun.
So that's a new little.
What are the topics going to be?
Oh, the topics are going to be like inside scoop that we know. Sometimes we get inside scoop that we don't really talk about too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we've heard like some things happening in the TLC world, we could tell them there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Or it doesn't have to be, it could be Bravo World. It could be, because let me tell you something.
Trisha and I can teach you about the lore of Mama June and 1,000 Pound Sisters.
I mean, probably not, but at the end of the day, it's still my show.
I mean, veto my ideas.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but probably not. And it'll be fun. So anyway, just letting you guys know that's going to be coming. Now, if you're listening here on the free feed, you're still getting all sorts of great stuff. You get 3 shows a week, plus you're getting this 4th one, season 8, Welcome to Plathville is here. Now, if you love Plathville, just a reminder, Keisha and I are doing a rewatch, and we are getting towards the end of season 3. And boy, oh boy, is it sad.
It is. So sad. You keep saying you're going to need a break soon.
It's depressing.
From this rewatch. Yeah.
It's real depressing. Depressing. And that's it, everybody. Now, Kimberly and Katie have a podcast, A Date with Dateline. Are you going to cover the one that was on this last Friday that's kind of the redo of the ballerina, the Black Swan?
Was there new information?
I don't know. I didn't watch it because I was like, maybe if there's new stuff, it's at the end. But like, I can't watch to the end to find out. I'm going to have to watch the one I didn't watch.
We did not cover it. We covered an old episode, but a really good one called A Bronx Tale, which is a really good old Menke. But so I'm going to have to go look at the ballerina. I just thought it was an old episode.
I mean, my DVR said new. It just said new, but I was like, that's not new. Don't peel my
DVR recorded the whole thing, Savannah and ballerina, as one episode.
Oh.
DVRs are stupid.
They are. Okay. So anyway, go over and listen to A Date with Dateline. Subscribe to their subscriber feed as well. You get fun stuff over there. They also do a live. And when Yellow Jackets comes back, they'll be covering that.
So excited.
It's got to be coming soon. I feel like it's just been at least a year since they said.
And yeah, I did hear Claim to Fame was canceled. And I really hope that that's not true, because that was one of my favorites.
I know. I got to come on and talk about that. You guys got me into that, Claim to Fame.
I know. So good. Shoot. It's such a good show. But yeah, please follow us on Instagram, because we're trying to get a certain hit our next milestone, and we're doing lots of reels and stuff.
Yeah, they're really killing it over there. They're doing lots of reels, and they're really good. And I've noticed also Kate Casey has kinda upped her reels game. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what does a girl gotta do out here to get to 13K?"
I know.
I'm very close.
Okay.
Very close, very close. I'm doing a lot of
Make it
boosting of
happen, guys.
yeah, I need more on the Instagram. Anyway, also, don't forget at the beginning, I told you about that TikTok to watch. I might try to see if I can get her on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because she's very interesting.
Mhm.
We're only at episode, 40, part 40, and we are still when she just is, leaving the cult, and then she's, in her 30s. We've got a long way to go.
Oh my god.
Got a long way to go. And that's it, everybody. And we will see you tomorrow for Welcome to Plathville Season 8, Episode 1. And don't forget, starting in April, Keisha and I are also doing Temptation Island. And we've been pre-recording for that. And boy, is that good. Boy, are those some hot dummies on an island. Hot dummies
Yes.
on an island. Yes. Okay, that's it. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.